John Laurinaitis has been dropped from the Janel Grant lawsuit against WWE and Vince McMahon. Plus, we have comments from representatives of Janel Grant and Vince McMahon following this development. And on AEW Dynamite, there was a debut. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Yesterday, Janel Grant's team filed to remove John Laurinaitis as a defendant from her trafficking lawsuit against WWE, Vince McMahon, and Laurinaitis. Now, the filing with the United States District Court for the District of Connecticut states plaintiff Janel Grant hereby stipulates with defendant John Laurinaitis that the above entitled action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice against defendant John Laurinaitis. For the sake of clarity, plaintiff is not dismissing any claims against any defendant other than Mr. Laurinaitis. Each party shall bear its own costs.
A joint statement from representatives for Janel Grant and John Laurinaitis states, John Laurinaitis has agreed to cooperate and provide evidence in Janel Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon and WWE. His agreement to a confidential settlement is a pivotal next step towards holding Mr. McMahon and WWE accountable and bringing justice to Miss Grant after years of abuse and trafficking. Mr. Laurinaitis looks forward to moving on with his life. We cannot provide any additional details at this time.
Now, Janel Grant stated in her lawsuit that she was transferred to work under Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, in March of 2021. Among the allegations against Laurinaitis in this filing, Grant claims that Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon assaulted her in the office of John Laurinaitis. It was also alleged that Grant was directed to visit Laurinaitis at his hotel room before work and, quote, serve herself to him as breakfast. In the amended lawsuit, Grant added claims that she received a custom corner office to Laurinaitis' taste, which included an internal door that connected directly to the office of Laurinaitis. Now, John Laurinaitis exited WWE in 2022 due to the initial hush money scandal within the company surrounding Vince McMahon. Laurinaitis initially went on to claim in early 2024 that he himself was also a victim of Vince McMahon when this filing came out, before performing a U-turn and actually siding with Vince McMahon and WWE's motions to compel arbitration. And this is where this is an interesting twist now, because it basically means that John Laurinaitis has been dropped from at least that part of the case.
Yes. Now, a joint statement was issued to Cultaholic, and it reads, Laurinaitis' dismissal with prejudice means the civil case against him is over, and Grant is unable to bring the same allegations against Laurinaitis in the future. Laurinaitis was accused of assault by Janel Grant in her lawsuit filed against the former WWE head of talent relations, Vince McMahon, and WWE in January 2024. Grant filed an amended lawsuit in January 2025 that was accepted by the court.
Since then, Cultaholic has also received a statement from Jessica Rosenberg. She is the attorney for Vince McMahon and says today's dismissal of John Laurinaitis as a defendant doesn't alter the facts of this case in any way. Vince McMahon never mistreated Janel Grant. No matter how many press releases her team issues, the truth remains unchanged. As Mr. Laurinaitis' lawyer previously said, Mr. Laurinaitis corroborates Mr. McMahon in publicly declaring that Ms. Grant's allegations of abuse and coercion in her complaint are completely unfounded. Now, while Janel Grant has filed for Laurinaitis to be dismissed from this lawsuit, she is still accusing Vince McMahon of trafficking, assault, and physical and emotional abuse. WWE are also still being accused of attempting to sweep these allegations under the rug. This is a case that continues to move back and forth, but the big development from it today, as we've been saying in our top story, John Laurinaitis now dropped from the Janel Grant lawsuit against WWE and Vince McMahon. In terms of how this will look as the case goes on, well, when we know more, we will let you know more at cultaholic.com. In other news, last night it was Dynamite, and it was a Dynamite following Double or Nothing. It was a long show, but a lot of people saying, Andrew, that it was one of the best wrestling shows of the year.
I think so as well. I think there was many things within that show that leads to, as you know, a wrestling show often does, leads to more developments for the characters, and it feels like we're heading towards something special again for AEW, you know?
Were you as surprised as I, before we get into the debut, were you as surprised as I that Hangman Page
Do you know
won the Owen?
I said this on the pitches video, like I'd be happy if either of them do it because there's great storyline implications for both of them, for both Will Ospreay and Hangman Page, but maybe in Texas, the cowboy state, maybe it would be the right call to have Hangman Page win, and within sort of like the arc that he's in at the moment of, you know, getting his redemption for everything that's happened over the last year or so. It makes sense to me as long as he wins. As long as he wins. As long as he wins.
Jeez, please, somebody put a full stop on this appalling sentence. I'm telling you. So it was Hangman Page winning the men's Owen Hart tournament, and it was Mercedes Moné winning the women's Owen Hart. And Jamie Hayter came out on Dynamite last night, seemingly to address her loss in the final and sort of what was next for her, but she didn't get a chance to talk about it, did she, Andrew?
She did not. So after reports that she had signed with the company, Tekla officially made her AEW debut last night in emphatic fashion. She attacked Jamie Hayter in the center of the ring. Then she did that toxic spider taunt. Like, the fact that she can do it like that is incredible. And then she switches out of it. It's insane. She taunts Hayter. And then, and that's her debut. There's been numerous reports linking Tekla to AEW following the announcement that she was heading stateside. It comes off the back of a multi-year run in Stardom where she won the Goddess of Stardom and Artist of Stardom championships. I don't know like loads and loads about Tekla. I know the stuff that she did with Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, and I think those matches that she had was great, but I think a lot of people have sort of noted that maybe she didn't sort of hit her peak in Stardom, and there was still quite a lot to dive into with her character-wise. And I'm really hoping that in AEW they can capitalize on that.
So would you like to get to know her?
I would like very much to get to know her, Tom.
Because she was a very special guest a few years ago on Desert Island Grabs on Cultaholic Wrestling. We got to catch up with her. Stardom's favourite Austrian. Good day, mate. It was great to actually get to know her. But she used to be in a band. She's been all over the world. She's got some stories to tell. And if you fancy getting to know Tekla after what you saw last night, check out Desert Island Grabs with her. She was a fun guest to have. And you know what? We've kept tabs on one another. I'm excited to see her doing well. Like it's nice to see good things continuing to happen to good people.
Could not agree more.
It is a nice time for it. Just a heads up, a little bit of podcast admin. Sadly, Sam Driver and I have had stupidly busy weeks. We haven't been able to do a Classic Nitro review for you this week. I know. Boo. So as we always say, the Classic Nitro review this week preempted by the Westminster Dog Show. But we will return next week for a brand new episode. But Matthew, Greg and I are recording a brand new Classic SmackDown review today. Yay! There you go. That's a thing that's happening. We're doing that today as well. And also, I'll do a little bit of a shameless plug once again. I'm doing the Great North Run in September for Mid Yorkshire Hospitals charity, who are supporting a very, very wonderful friend of mine and my wife's, who's going through the worst of times, and they have been amazing, my hospital charity. So I thought the very least I can do is a half marathon across the northeast of England. So that's what we're doing. If you're in a position to, I know like the world's on fire and everything's really tough at the moment, but if you're in a position to, there's a link down there if you want to donate to my hospital charity, or if you want a cameo off anybody. All my 100% of my cameos are going towards that charity this month, if you want to do that as well. But you can get a cameo from any of us at cultaholic.com/cameo. Just putting that out there. Thank you so much for your support so far. We've raised nearly 50% of our target.
Wow, that's incredible. Good lad.
And that's down to you. That's you, that is. Thank you so much. Anything you want to plug, Andrew?
I got nothing to plug at all.
Can I plug your lovely jumper?
You can plug the lovely jumper if you want.
He's wearing a lovely jumper. Just a lovely jumper today.
I'll take it. Thank you very much. That's very kind.
For the very latest wrestling news and lovely jumpers at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you. Bye.